Let's do this.
It's time for Hangin' with Langin.
I like that she's got a big dirty mouth that gets her in trouble.
Wow.
Stop me, 'cause I'm having a good time.
Hey, you crazy kids. It's Langin. You're hanging with Langin. And coming up in just a moment, Cathy Ladman. How many of you are excited? You know you are. I'm getting private messages and how much you love her. And I have a script. Can you get it to her? I am telling you, all of you are fantastic. And I love that she connects for you. Before I get to bringing her on, I want to just give a lovely little intro here. Of course, we all know she's one of the most respected comics out there. Not comedians. We're not comedians. We're comics. So many film and TV credits, from Charlie Wilson's War, The Aristocrats, Politically Incorrect, King of Queens, Caroline in the City, writer on Roseanne, which is very exciting because I want to find out why Roseanne booted her from the set of the show. I cannot wait to hear that delicious story. I do not know why. Well, I want to chat about Whoopi. I want to chat about Cathy's friendship with the beloved Bob Saget, why, of course, Roseanne gave her the boot, and her history with anorexia. And she's quite open about that. And I have a lot of respect for her for being that way. So here we go. Before I bring Cathy on, I have a little vintage clip because I do my homework. I'm really good at that. Here we go. Now, this shows you, this is a vintage clip of Cathy referencing her father. And there's a reference in here that you'll be like, oh, today that, you'll hear it and you'll see. Here we go.
Really, if you ever meet my dad and you want to torture him, and you will, this is what you do. You tie him against a wall like this, with his arms and his legs like this, make him stare straight ahead. And then right in front of him, you refold a road map incorrectly.
But to me, where am I? Okay, there I am. Listen, you got to share this. Before I bring on Cathy, you must share this. If you don't share it, you're dead to me. Just hit Facebook and share it. Or if you're watching LinkedIn or YouTube, share it however they do it that way. But on Facebook, share it right now. Just say, watch, everybody. That's all you need to do. All right, ladies and gentlemen, coming to the Hangin' with Langin screen, it's Cathy Ladman.
Hi, my God, that clip. That was my first Tonight Show. And could you believe my hair?
Love it.
The size of it?
We all had that hair.
Oh, my God. That was
You look
crazy.
Great. But you always look great. Always. I mean, this look, every look you have, I'm like, she always looks gorgeous, no matter the style, the age. It's just always gorgeous.
Oh, stop it.
Stop. Tell me some
Stop
more.
it.
Tell me some more. Listen, let's start with Whoopi.
Okay.
You're a woman of the Jewish race.
Yes.
And yet you're a comedian and you understand talking and speaking freely. And tell me where you stand on it.
Well, I think it was stupid of her to say what she said. A little ignorant too.
Ignorant.
Because those things are different. Stupidity and ignorance are different.
That's right.
I think she should have known better, really, to know that this was. Here's something that I have a problem with. Like, there was 11 million people were killed in the concentration camps in World War II. 6 million of them were Jews. It was mostly targeted towards Jews and other people as well. Or there are 5 million other people who were killed. But it was the Hitler referred to the Jewish problem. It was a Jewish problem, and it was definitely a race issue. And she should have known that. I think she was looking at it in terms of black and white.
Yes,
and then she was saying that they were both white. I mean, what's the difference?
Well, I think, I'm hearing her. First of all, I think the ignorance of it is such a valuable opportunity for us to keep her on the show, to keep her there, to ask questions, to talk about ignorance, because I think in America, we see racism as a color thing. You're black, you're brown. So I can almost see an ignorant person thinking, well, those were white people. Because you would have to seek out a Jew. You would not look at somebody and go, that's a Jew. So I think I was, not that I'm agreeing, I'm not. I was seeing her point of seeing it as color and not a race of people, because it's not overt that you're Jewish if you're walking down the street, but it's overt if you're Black. I think maybe.
Right, maybe, yes. Okay, I'll give her that. But I think you bring up a good point. And one of the you have a Facebook user who said that Nazis looked at Jews as a race. They did look at Jews as a race.
Of course
and
they
saw,
did.
and they touted themselves as being the master race. So I mean, it was a race issue. But you bring up a good point in saying that by keeping her on the show, it would be a great open dialogue. Now it's sort of, she's gone and they're not going to be talking about it.
She has to reflect because people know that you should reflect. That's it. Everybody's the moral police. There's not even Oprah around to go on an apology tour. But I think it's a really good conversation to have that race isn't just black and white. Like that, even though I know it's the Jewish race, it was a light bulb. I went, oh, we should really talk about that as Americans.
Yes.
So it makes me sad that you can't say something stupid, be ignorant, and not go, oh, I'm so okay. Sorry, I didn't think of that way. Or, I was so locked in my own maybe person of colorhood. That's not a term. And that I didn't see that.
Right. And instead of just locking you out, let's make this a cause for learning.
Yes. Or talking, or just anything other than going, you now must go away. You must hide away for a while.
And particularly, I mean, you look at these people who are hanging on, the last survivors of the Holocaust. They are, I forgot what I was going to say. No, the people who are the last survivors of the Holocaust, they're our last reminders, and they're now seeing in their lifetime
the denial,
the resurgence of anti-Semitism, which is horrifying. It's frightening.
It's so frightening. And what's interesting? My Sicilian lover, he is American, but he was raised Catholic. I don't know if you know the story. His father, grandparents from Sicily. His mother never talked about her background. She owned a comedy club and a nightclub in the South Bay, Rooster T. Feathers. It was the country store before that. So we do the DNA. And I said to my sister Katie, did you do the DNA? She says, why? Just look in a mirror. We know we're Catholic, Irish, and 100%. But he did his. His mother was full on Eastern European Jew.
Really?
Full on 100%.
Wow.
And of course, I go do the research because I'm a loon like that from Romania. And I said to him, do you know you would have been, because other than Germany, the Romanians killed more Jews other than Germany.
Really?
Yes. And I said, you would have been dead. You would have been dead if they didn't leave.
Wow.
And then the great-grandparents, check this out. They go to Pittsburgh, their next door neighbor, Langen. Woo!
Oh my God.
I know. So interesting. All right. My guest is Cathy Ladman. I hear a little clank.
No, I was just going to tell you, I'm sorry, the clicking. It's my dog's toenails. They need clicking.
Oh, that's right. The dog can do anything with me.
I know. Good boy. He's a good boy. Yes.
Nina G says you have the best hair in comedy, but I'm going to pretend she's saying it to me, even though I know it's for you. Just going to go with that. Lou Costello says hi to the two of us. How are you?
Not Lou Costello, Sue Costello.
Sue Costello.
You said Lou Costello.
Lou, Sue. It's a Costello and they're famous. All right. So I want to play. You had a very close friendship with Bob Saget.
Yes.
And you posted a video of the two of you on a little TV thing you did called Sit, Stay, Speak. And you were out in a dog park hanging with your buddy.
It was a talk show in a dog park.
So when you shared that, I got goosebumps, and I even emailed you. I said, oh, come on the show. I want to talk to you about that, some other things. So I gleaned a clip with permission
yes,
from the powers that be. Yeah, of course. Here's a clip of Cathy with her friend Bob, and you can see the warmth here. I love it.
I didn't hear you.
You're never lacking for something to say or retort, and you seem.
Maybe that's the nervousness. No, it's not nervousness.
Could be.
I think it's boredom now.
Are you nervous? Are you nervous to be quiet? When you're on stage? Are you nervous for silence?
Not anymore. That's where I feel that I'm growing.
That's good.
Because I love riffing. I love, and I have things I like to talk about. I have stories and jokes. I write a lot of jokes about this area.
Right.
This bench and these dogs. But I really love improv and not knowing where I'm gonna go.
Thank you for coming on the first episode of Sit, Stay,
It was
Speak.
my pleasure. Sit, Stay, Speak
Don't
is
you-
what it's
yeah.
a dream everyone would like to do with me.
Isn't it a
It's a great teller. We're at a damn dog park.
I know. Love you, Bob Saget.
I love you so much.
Mwah.
Take care. No, oh God, you kissed that dog with that mouth.
Oh man, I can't believe he's gone. It's weird.
I love how you hug each other at the end of that. It was so touching to watch that. So thank you for sharing that with us,
Sure.
Cathy. Tell me about your friendship with Bob. When did you?
Well, I met Bob at the Comedy Store, and we worked together in Vegas sometimes, and we had this sort of ongoing friendship with like this group of friends with Steve Odekirk. I don't know if you know Steve, and Dom Herrera and.
Oh, wow.
And we just, we've always been in touch. And Bob, I don't know how much you read about what people wrote about him.
Oh,
but
gosh, yes.
Bob and I were not like the best of friends. We didn't speak constantly,
Right.
but we were consistently in touch with one another. And he was just so warm and so loving and would do anything for his friends, and was so happy with his wife and loved his daughters and always was like like when I had relatives who wanted to come say hello to him after a show, he was always so gracious. He was just a really great guy. He was just a wonderful, loving guy and funny as all hell. My God. Oh.
Well, I'm sorry for the loss of your friend. I mean, I'm sorry for the loss of him in general, for everyone, but particularly for your friend. What stood out to me, in addition to how the warmth the two of you share in that, is him talking about comedy and loving riffing and being on the stage. And that was post-pandemic what he was doing, and did a 2-hour show. So I thought, right there.
Right.
I love that. All right. So you know what's interesting? You and I were at different times in the same comedy show. It was called JAPS, Jewish American Princesses of Comedy.
Mm-hmm.
By Corey Kahaney, created that. It went off Broadway. I'm the only non-Jew who's ever been in that show.
How did you manage that?
Because I'm Jewish. And
you're Jewish. That's right.
I think because I have a lot of stuff about being raised Irish Catholic, wishing I had being raised around a lot of Jewish people, and wishing that I had, the influence that had on me, and looking. I think they like the flip view.
Right. But I'm sure you were great in that show.
It was a great show that was created, and I wish it was a great show. Kudos to Corey.
Yes.
Now, tell me how you've been doing post-pandemic. With work and life and everything.
Work's been tough. Work's been slow.
Mm-hmm.
I had a very interesting. Oh God, I'm so sorry about the clicking.
I love that your dog.
Sorry about the clicking.
It's insane.
Happy, go lie down or eat your food. One or the other.
Or come on camera.
Do you want him on camera?
Yeah, I love dogs.
No, my husband says he's going to take him. He's going to take him in the other.
I love dogs. That's so hurtful that your husband's taking the dog from us.
Well, it's just, here he is. Look at, ow, God.
Ow. It's a beauty, Chappie.
That's okay, Tom. He's so
Tom,
sweet.
it was fine, Tom. How old is Chappie?
Just combed me with his nails. He's 11.
Oh, he looks like a baby.
I know, but he's 11.
I know.
Well, Preston lived to 18. But we'll see. Anyway, so so I was diagnosed with breast cancer February 4th, which by the way, that's tomorrow. And I learned that I think February 4th is National Cancer Awareness Day. And that's the day that I was diagnosed in 2020. March 6th, I had surgery, and it was very early. I was very lucky, Maureen. I was so lucky. And then I had surgery March 6th, and then we were in the pandemic. Wow. I mean, it was the oddest entry into this odd period of time. And so, I was sort of, kind of just dealing with all of that, and then dealing with the fact that I wasn't going to have any work, and then looking into unemployment insurance and blah, blah, blah. It was really, I mean, it was hard for everybody has their own pandemic story. But yeah, it's not been easy. It's not been an easy couple of years.
Well, how's your health now?
It's good. It's really
Yay.
good.
Yeah.
It's really good.
And the other thing is, you caught this in February and had your surgery in March. A couple weeks later, you would not have been able to have that.
You're right. Well, I mean,
or maybe
it would have been hard. It would have been hard.
And this is what I want people to understand too. Even now, I don't even care. I do care what people believe, but I don't. That's not even my point anymore. Get your stupid, smelly vaccine. I was just looking at. I like to do genealogy, and I was looking at a great uncle who then Ireland was its own independent country, so he was in the British Army, and it says, "Do you agree to get vaccinated?" In this 1880 piece of military paper. Do you agree to be vaccinated? So, my dad, pray God he'll be well, and I've had to lose some work because he matters more. But, when I took him to the hospital a week or two ago, he has to wait because there's COVID patients ahead of him who were not vaccinated coming in. And that's what the nurse said to me. I'm sorry. They're idiots. Yeah.
Sorry. So I'm your guest. I can say it. They're idiots.
Well, I don't just get it. Let's get back to work. Let's get back to things.
Yeah, I mean, come on. But the thing is, like, when people got the polio vaccine, maybe it was different because we lived, not we, but people who were alive then lived with the knowledge and the experience of polio amongst themselves.
Right.
And this just kind of came on like so quickly. And I don't know why people don't have faith. A lot of people don't have faith in it, don't have faith in science. People just don't have faith in the facts.
I think what's interesting to me, look, I understand. I was sitting there when they shoot, I got the shot in my arm, like, okay, leap of faith, hope this is good, scared. But I have friends who are doctors at Stanford, and I laugh because I used to bike with them, and one's the head of neuromolecular biology, another's the head of pediatric cancer research, no joke. And, and I go, and I know the proper use of semicolons. So this is the hang with these people. But I asked them, do I get this? It was brand new, don't I? They go, hands down, absolutely. And I would be on Zoom shows with them, just hanging with them, not on air, just hanging with them on a Sunday afternoon. And them talking about the ribonucleic, I don't even know. They were just talking about how it's based and how it's evolved from this or that. And these are smart people. But then people without GEDs, they know more about ivermectin. They'll do that.
Right.
And they won't follow.
Well, you know what? It depends on from whose mouth you're hearing the stuff. Right. And if you hear it from somebody that you believe in, who's an idiot, but you believe in that person, then you're going to believe it.
Mm. Well, that whole Joe Rogan thing, I think about a couple things here. I'm like, look, he's a comedian.
I mean, that's a great example. Yes.
Say what you want to say. Enjoy yourself. Say any freaking thing you want to say. Go. I don't get my medical advice from Joe Rogan or Tucker Carlson. I don't. The bicycle guys who are the head of pediatric cancer, those are the ones I talk to.
Right.
But then I thought, everybody, it's interesting because it's not true journalism. And when Joe Rogan says, I'll try to get the other side of the story, that's what journalists do. That's what journalists are supposed to do. That's why I have such a respect. He can be a circus clown for all I care. I don't care. Though the one thing that I did get behind is when people said Spotify has a responsibility as a company for what they put on earth. Then I said, okay, I can get behind that.
They do have a responsibility.
Yeah.
And they think they're handling it well. And I mean, I love what Neil, I lost his name.
Sounds
Neil,
like first.
Crosby, Stills, Nash and Young. Neil
Neil Young.
I had to go through the A, B, C, D, E, F, G. Yes, I love what Neil Young did. I love that he's got some. I was reading that he had polio and he had to relearn how to walk, and and he's got like all sorts of challenges in his family, and I give him great kudos for doing what he did.
And
And
again,
$100 million he was paid by Spotify to be on their network, and I'm guessing he's losing it.
well, my first thinking, and I still think Joe Rogan, say whatever you want, have your podcast, but once he's on a platform like Spotify, what is their responsibility? But then you look, it seems that Tucker Carlson, where's Fox News responsibility? It's the money that seems to trump all of that.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, I know my friend Jen Peterman is watching. Jen, I know that you love Cathy, so this is your opportunity to ask your question. And she's just like, she hasn't asked it yet. This gal, Jen Peterman, I started comedy with her, and then she didn't pursue it. She is the sassiest, funniest, broad.
She just asked me to become a friend on something.
So talented, so wonderful.
Wow.
Okay, be her friend, because
I will be her friend.
She's going to be your friend, Jen.
I'm going to be your friend.
Look at her. She's so cute. Oh, she's going to email me later. Oh, you'll email me with a question. All right. It's so funny. Okay. And she is so talented. Oh my God, blush. All right. But see, that's what I like with togetherness. I like when that happens. Jen, if you do post it if you do send me an email, let me know, because I'm engaged in an interview right now, so I'd have to look at it and make a point of doing that. Molly McCloskey Barber was the romper room lady in New York and New Jersey, and she wants to see you. Yes, she's my friend.
Was she really?
Yes.
Oh my God.
Yes, the romper room lady.
Wow, I used to watch romper. Well, obviously she's not that romper room lady.
No, she's our age.
When I was, right.
She was doing it she was doing it. I was in graduate school, and she was doing it at Channel 9 out of Secaucus, New Jersey.
Wow.
Miss Molly, that's right, Charlotte.
Wow.
I know. All right, Peterman, if you send me an email, let me know. Yeah, is it funny? Everybody likes you. Okay, so this is an important thing that you talk about. So again, sorry, I want to wrap up the comic thing, because I'm not crapping on my fellow and comics. Say what you want, do what you want. Freedom of speech. Go, 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 go. I'm just talking. First of all, you idiots out there, I don't know anything about molecular biology. I'm a smart woman. If you want to know the proper use of semicolons, I'm your go-to girl. But I am not the one, with horse tranquilizers. I don't have anything on that. So Joe Rogan, say whatever you want, but people listen. Like,
do your research and consider your source. Consider your source. You don't take advice on vaccines from Joe Rogan.
No, and I also think Joe Rogan, I don't think he's a journalist, so I don't think he has the responsibility of bringing in all the different. We used to have a fairness doctrine.
He's an entertainer.
Yeah, an entertainer, right? So anyway, there we go with that. I watched a reading you did about a piece about your anorexia. Eating disorder. Mm-hmm. Yeah, you were a guest on somebody's show, and I watched it. Yes. She was not nearly as entertaining as the two of us together. I'm kidding. She was lovely. I'm joking. I want people to hear this. People watch this show, Hangin' with Lang and Cathy Ladman here. Tell them about your eating disorder. Tell them when it began and how you dealt with it, and your message.
It began in my late teens. I was in college. And I was just miserable. I mean, misery is an important ingredient in any addiction. And I was miserable. I didn't like the way I looked, and I focused on that. That's how I was focused. I was focusing on my body. I'm not good enough. And I never felt good enough growing up. I just never felt good enough. And
why?
Because I just was. I lived in an overachieving family, and my parents, I was just never good enough for them. I felt never good enough. I felt never good enough for them, and I was always seeking their approval and never really gaining what I needed. And anyway, I just, I was not happy with the way I looked, and I was not happy with my body. And when I was in college, I just felt that I weighed too much, and I started to lose weight. We went to my friend and I went to this quack doctor that used to give pills to everyone. And we got diet pills, and I started using them slowly. And then what happened is my friendship, I'm giving you a very abbreviated version. My friend just dropped me. This was my best friend, and she just dropped me. And I was so devastated by this that I just I had to find a way to get a handle on my life and feel like I was in control of something. And I went back to college where in my hometown, and I lived in my parents' house, and I was completely out of control there and very unhappy there. And I just ramped up the diet pills. And over a period of about 3 years, I lost 1/3 of my body weight. And I thought that I went from 127 pounds to under 85 pounds.
Oh, Lord.
And I thought that I still thought I was fat. I had absolutely no perspective. And it took me a long time to get back. It took me a long time I started to get back probably early 80s. I started to climb back slowly. And I started comedy in 81, and I was still quite skinny when I started. And I used to refer to one of my earliest opening jokes was, I better sit down. I'm stuffed. I just ate. I had a Cheerio. That was
funny and true.
And yeah, and that really got the audience because of the way I looked. And over the years and being in a support group, in Overeaters Anonymous and therapy and really working hard on it, it's a very difficult disease to overcome. I mean, I still consider myself in recovery from it. I don't consider myself recovered from it.
Okay.
It's a mindset that is very hard to completely get rid of.
It gnaws at you sometime, and then you probably have to say, okay, I got you. We'll chill out. I mean, I'm projecting my own things, but when some of those childhood things or early adult things bug me, I go, okay, what's happening over here? You're just not all of me. You're part of me. Let's soothe this. Let's deal with this. Sometimes I, don't. So you went to Overeaters Anonymous, even though
yes, I go still. Yeah, but it deals with all sorts of eating disorders.
Oh, I see.
Overeating, undereating, restricting, bulimia.
All of that. Well, when I was younger, I didn't eat for, I don't know, about a year.
Wow.
I ate, I wrote.
You must have looked great.
I looked fantastic. I got to tell you, if it wasn't for the bad haircut, I could have been, anyway. Somebody said to me, what would you tell your 16-year-old self? In 4 words, your hair will grow.
That's great.
No, I would only eat ice cream, like gallons of ice cream, because I thought I was going to choke to death. I had a fear of choking.
Good plan. Okay.
That's it. Well, a little tension in the home. So you get like, scared and your throat constricts. And
I mean, more people have food issues. That's why I this show that I'm going to be
about that.
It's called "Does This Show Make Me Look Fat?" And I will be putting it up on stage in LA within the next couple of months, just for a workshop. And I'm not concerned about there not being enough anorexics in the audience, because more people than not have food issues.
Yes.
So many people have food issues. So they will relate to the underlying problems that I talk about.
It's interesting because I did my solo show and I was talking about some of, it wasn't a fat thing for me. It was just a fear-based thing. And I was young and I was a teenager. But in my solo show, Daughter of a Garbage Man, I say that my father is a blend of Archie Bunker, Fred Sanford, and Marlon Brando, the early years, not the fat years. Because that's what my father looked like. He didn't. This woman, a middle-aged woman, corners me. When you do an emotional show and your heart and soul are open, she corners me and says, I don't like that you use the word fat. And I go, really? Nothing else? The emotional stuff, none of that? No impact on you, the word fat? She said, well, I used to have an eating disorder. I go, well, get in line. Like, who didn't? And she says, well, it triggered me. I said, okay, I can't. You got to go confront something else.
Stop going to the theater. That's why you go to theater, to be triggered.
So it's my fault your father didn't love you? Now you got to take it out on me?
Wow.
Triggered. 40 years binging on your own. Now it's my fault. But sometimes people get displaced with it or overly triggered.
Yes.
And it's not my fault.
No.
Wow. Charlotte deals with texture issues.
Oh, look at that. That's interesting.
Yeah, that's very interesting. Charlotte's a regular of Hanging with Lang, and she deals with texture issues, and she realized it's connected. Oh, interesting, Charlotte. Thank you for sharing that. So does this show make me look fat? You're going to start workshopping it in LA?
Yes.
And the next month or two?
Yeah, the next couple of months, yeah. Not in a month, because I'm going to be away for a little bit in a couple of weeks. So
Anywhere
a couple
good?
of months. It's okay. I mean, yeah, I'm doing nothing good.
Okay.
It's nothing good. It's
Did you study acting? Because you've had some really good roles.
I did study acting a little bit. You know, I was studying acting when I was on the road, but I missed so many of my classes that I probably could. But then I studied later on with this wonderful actor named J.D. Lewis, who's he's wonderful. You can find him on Facebook. He's terrific. He has a school called the Acting Lab, and it's great. And then I took a cold reading class. So I studied a little bit, and I miss working. I miss acting. I really do, because I really miss it a lot. It's been so slow.
Would you get like a ton of auditions? Like you were like, wow, I have so many.
I mean, when things were more normal, I had more auditions. Yeah. But the self-tape stuff, I don't enjoy it.
Because you're not getting direction, or like try it this way, or be a little sillier here, or go a little.
Yeah.
Poppy likes your hair, Cathy.
Oh, again. Okay.
Everybody
Thank
likes
you.
your hair. Poppy Champlin likes your hair. All right,
Thank you,
good.
Poppy. Hi, Poppy. I can't see. I just see Facebook user. That's
because when they're watching on Hangin' with Langan, nobody listens to me. I tell them what they have to do. On the Facebook page, you'll see it. But anybody on the Hangin' with Langan page has to go to StreamYard.com and /Facebook, and you will just click on the blue button, and then I'll see your name. But now that's why I have my phone over here. I'm doing this. It's like tennis.
I gotcha. Well, you do everything, Maureen. You're really busy there. I mean, this is a lot. This is a lot to do. Don't cry yet. Not until we're off camera.
Oh my God! I'm telling you. Let me
see. That's a good title for a book. Don't cry until you're off camera.
Well, or until you're out of your house with my parents. I keep it together and then I cry. Oh, Michelle Ballin.
Hi, Michelle.
She wants you to know that she did tons of cocaine and diet pills to get skinny.
Mm-hmm.
Then she needed rehab. Oh, Michelle.
Yeah. Yeah. That sucks.
Michelle's looking for teeth. All right, good. She's doing a fundraiser for teeth. She has a GoFundMe for implants, not breasts. Teeth. Yeah. But she's working on that. She's going to Mexico to get some teeth.
And I've been I just had my brows done. They're a little bit dark yet, but the guy who did my brows was raised in Tijuana, and he goes to Tijuana for all his dental care, and he says it's amazing how cheap it is there.
Okay, but what do you do with your brows? Those are natural, right?
These are microbladed.
What does that mean?
Microblading is sort of like a tattoo, but it's the implement that they use. The tool is like a row of tiny needles. So it looks like, when they do it, it looks like hair, like there are lines that look like hair. But it's still at the phase now where it's scabbing off. So it still looks a little, I know, Maureen, it's worth it. It's worth it.
But does it look I wish I could see really close.
It does look. You won't be able to see it. It looks like hairs. So,
but it's like somebody I know got a tattoo, like eyebrow tattoos. Is that different than microblading?
Well, I originally had mine tattooed, and it looks like solid color, and I didn't like it, so I had to let it fade away over several years.
Over many years.
Yeah, but I mean, this I'll have to get touched up like maybe once a year. I'll get a touch up.
So could I get that done?
Yeah, anybody can. Yes.
Can I get that?
Yeah, you can. No, everybody except Maureen can get it done.
Cathy, I'm so glad you were hanging with me today.
Oh, you didn't even get to ask me about Roseanne.
Oh my God, I buried the
my
lead.
God.
What is wrong with me? The most important thing. All right, you guys, this is oh my God, what is wrong with Langan? You know, I've told you before we started, a lot on the brain. I'm usually sharp. I'm very disappointed in myself.
No,
right now.
you are sharp, but there was a lot to cover.
I know, but this I really want to cover. Okay, Cathy's going to tell us in just a moment why she was booted from the Set of Roseanne, and she was working on the show. But before I do that, Cathy, just one quick moment, please, if you don't mind. This commercial break brought to people by me. Get your Don't Make Me Hate You merchandise at MaureenLangan.com or molangan.com/store. I have everything. I got T-shirts. I got masks. Look right behind me. I even have it. Look, see? Don't make me hate you.
That's a tiny head on that mannequin. That's a very tiny head.
Somebody sent that to me because I had it on a hanger and they were like, okay, you could do better, Maureen.
That looks great. That was very nice of that person.
And yes, very nice. Thank you, Randy Thomas. And then also she's the voiceover queen in America, the Oscars. Oh yeah, she's talented. Wow. And then
she can afford that.
She can afford 2 mannequins, one for New York and one when I'm out in California.
That's right.
What else I wanted to show people that my Don't Make Me Hate You special is out, you guys. It's on Dry Bar. It's fun. It's Don't Make Me Hate You because I don't want to hate people. They make me hate them. I'm a victim. So go to drybarcomedy.com and then just search for Maureen Langan or Don't Make Me Hate You. And you'll get the first 30 days free if you use my promo code Maureen Langan because that's my name. Look how cute Cathy was.
Oh, look at her.
So cute.
And
look through the ears.
Oh my God. Look at that. Piano teeth. Oh my God.
Isn't that cute? So
and then
cute.
somebody wrote, and then I think my mother wrote 64. It was 1964. Right on the front of the photo. Couldn't turn it over and write it on the back of the photo. Had to write it on my big white collar.
That's so cute. When you put that, I go, I got to send that to me. I wanted to show
Sue Kalinsky wrote the funniest thing. Somebody asked about the bow tie, and Sue Kalinsky said, was that aftermarket? Because it said 64 on it, like I was a car.
Oh my gosh, that's so cute. All right, let's get, this was the whole reason I'm like, I wanted to talk about this and I almost forgot. Talk to me. You were a writer on Roseanne.
Yes, I was a writer on Roseanne 1995 to 96. No, 1994 to 95, I think. Whatever. Okay. Close. Whatever. But around there. And it was a crazy place to work. We started at the season. I mean, I heard about it going in that it was a crazy place to work. And I had known Roseanne briefly in 1985 when I moved to LA. And we were friendly at the Comedy Store, and then she, skyrocketed to fame. And so, in fact, Lois Bromfield, who was on your show recently.
Lois Bromfield was on my show last week. Please find it at MaureenLangan.com.
She's so funny.
Podcast. She's
buy her book. I'm sure
My Dirty Life in Comedy. Okay.
Yes, I bought it too, and she's so hilarious. Oh my God. So anyway, I believe it was she who recommended me for the show because they wanted to get more women on staff, and so I came on staff. Carrie Snow was there, and
so funny.
Oh my God, and there were 27 writers at the beginning of the season. That was the only show that had that kind of writing staff like that. 27 writers, and then the firings started. Roseanne started firing people, and what happened was I was doing this unrelated stand-up show around Christmas, and somebody was going to interview me for publicity for the show, the stand-up show that I was doing. And she called me at Roseanne because I was there all day, and I didn't have a cell phone at the time. And so she called me up and she said, "Oh, what's it like writing on Roseanne?" And I said, "Well, it's a lot like a 12-step program without the easy does it and the keep coming back." And basically, and so I talked to her a little bit about what was going on there, and then she's started asking me about this show that I was doing, and what happened was, and then we went on hiatus at the show at Roseanne. We went on hiatus, and then I get a phone call from Roseanne's kind of right-hand person, and he says, "Did you see the newspaper?" And I said, "No, what?" And it was in the Daily News and in the LA Daily News, and there was a picture of Roseanne, and the headline was "Writer Reports Tyranny on Roseanne Set." Can you believe this? Now, you're a journalist. I didn't think I was naive. I had spoken to journalists before. I thought there was, I thought there was a kind of a code that you wouldn't. Joke. Yeah, I mean,
it was so taken out of context and
oh my God!
For a headline.
So she, completely ignored the reason for the interview and basically did a hatchet job. And so we were on hiatus, and then we got back to Roseanne after, in January, and I wanted to speak to Roseanne face to face and tell her what happened. And she was livid. She was like, she put her hand in my face, and she goes, "I'm not talking to you." And she said, "I don't want you on this set." And she was cursing me and blah, blah, blah. And so I walked back from the stage to our offices. It was a little short walk on the lot. And I was getting more and more upset as I got back to my desk, and I called my husband and I told him what happened. And I said, "I can't go back to the set anymore." And he said, "Wow, it sounds like you've been promoted."
Oh, you're funny too.
And I, basically I didn't have to go down to the set for run-throughs, and I didn't have to go for tapings. And I, until finally at the end of the season, I was forgiven.
Oh, you were?
I was forgiven at the end of the season. Yes.
So you could write, but you couldn't be on the set or near her.
Couldn't be near her.
Even on a table read?
No.
So what did you do? You would write in your office, and then somebody else would share the material?
Well, yeah, because we wrote in groups anyway. I was in a joke room, and we wrote like in groups of 5, and it was a lot of fun. It was like we laughed till we cried, and we cried till we cried, writing on that show.
Well, it was a tough atmosphere, according to Lois and you. It wasn't easy.
Yeah.
But did you ever confront or contact the writer? It was
yes,
the LA Daily News.
I did.
What do you remember their name, or you don't have to say, or a man or a woman?
I do remember her name, I think.
Okay, for her.
And I knew her nephew. Somehow I can't remember how I knew that they were related, but I knew her nephew. Maybe he contacted me, I'm not sure, but I got her phone number. And I said, "How dare you? How dare you?" She goes, "Well, I thought, the way you were talking to me, I thought, well, this girl wants to be fired." It was just so unethical, really unethical. But I learned to state explicitly from that day on, this is off the record. Yeah. And that was okay. That was a learning experience for me.
Yeah. Well, I thought she would have kicked. Did she ever find out, Roseanne, the truth of what happened, that it was a joke, or it just eventually died down?
The thing was that, no, it just eventually died down. And I saw her like a while later at the Comedy Awards, and she said, "It's okay. It's okay." And I said, it's past and we're fine now. Okay. So fine. And I feel sad for her, because she's got a lot of sadness in her life. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. She's got a lot of personal sadness that she deals with. Yeah. I don't see her as a happy person.
No. Well,
she has a lot of money. That's very true. She has a lot of money. She's had a lot of success. She was groundbreaking, trailblazing, but I don't see her as a personally happy person.
She does have a macadamia farm, so that could bring her joy. That probably brings her joy.
It's delicious.
Cathy Ladman, you're such a doll for being with me today.
Oh my God.
I really appreciate it.
My pleasure. Anytime.
Well, I took you up on that. So you guys follow Cathy Ladman on Facebook, Cathy Ladman 1 on Instagram. And
that's because I made a mistake the first time and I couldn't erase it. on
Is that true?
Instagram. Yes, I made a mistake and I didn't know how to backtrack, so I had to make Cathy Ladman one. I know it's a little sad.
And at Cathy Ladman on Twitter, and watch for her show. She's going to be workshopping in LA called "Does This Show Make Me Look Fat?" Thank you for sharing your funny stories. Thank you for sharing your honesty, what you've been through in your life. And
oh, my pleasure.
Lynn loves you. Oh, Eddie Clark, he loved the show a lot. He's a great comic. Just had twins, 65. God bless you, Eddie.
Wow.
Really cute babies, Johnny and Ava, all the best. Lynn says you're the best.
Awesome. Yes. Hi, Lynn. I know Lynn.
And all right, a lot of nice comments, you guys. So Hangin' with Langan, please subscribe on Apple or any of the podcast platforms. If you want to see the video, you go to patreon.com and you can subscribe there, and that supports the show. And that's what we got. That's what I got for you people. And get Don't Make Me Hate You on Dry Bar Comedy, because I want to love you. Just don't make me hate you. All right, Missy. So I will see you around the digital pool, as they say, on the
I will
.com.
see you. I see you, and my best to your dad. I hope that things go smoothly.
But you're very kind, thank you. And then you tell those cruise people that that they have to hire me.
I'll tell them. Believe me.
They're
Believe
nice
you
people.
me. All
They
right,
said
they're
family
very
comes
nice.
first, and I like that they said that.
Yes, and believe them. Believe them.
All right, you guys, until we meet again, you know the routine. Bye, wig. Mwah.
No, you cannot leave me like that.
Don't forget to subscribe, rate, and review, and feel free to share it with a friend.
Please don't go, please.
I'll be back.
Au revoir.